What's up, guys? It's Kit Dale here from kitdaletraining.com, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, two-time world pro champion. And before I start today, I want to tell you guys there is a sale at kitdaletraining.com, and it is the code is Go Wild in one word in capitals. It's 40% off everything till midnight for Black Friday. So go check it out really quickly because it's not going to last very long. There's only about a few hours left, but go check it out. I want to talk today about curriculums and whether I think they are appropriate for jiu-jitsu. No, I don't think curriculums are appropriate for jiu-jitsu. I think curriculums are a good way for an instructor to motivate their students to turn up to training, to make more money off of them, because they have to turn up to training because they need to learn the curriculum. But is it a good indicator of a student's progress? No, it's not. The ability to perform techniques with a cooperating partner is not an indicator of how good you are in jiu-jitsu. It's how good you are at demonstrating a technique, which is very different to performing a technique against someone that's trying to stop you. The curriculum is pushing people down a road that I really don't like, and it's a road that suggests to students that the acquisition of techniques is the right path to go, which is completely incorrect. This is an art. It's not a choreographed dance routine. You don't want to be the guy that knows jiu-jitsu moves but doesn't understand jiu-jitsu. There is so much more to jiu-jitsu. I know a lot of guys that can demonstrate beautiful techniques, and a lot of them do movies, and I think it looks fucking amazing. I wouldn't like to see what really happens in jiu-jitsu on movies because it doesn't look good. But these techniques look amazing. But are they applicable in jiu-jitsu? No. I've seen these guys do it, and they come and try and roll and can't get a fucking move to work because there's so much more that really counts in jiu-jitsu than just your ability to demonstrate a technique. I think your ability to demonstrate a technique is 20% of jiu-jitsu. The other 80% is intellectual, it's psychological, theoretical, and those are the kind of things that I would be concentrating on when it comes to students' ability to demonstrate their, what level of jiu-jitsu they should be on. Because physically, some students are going to be 80 years old and they can't do physically what a 21-year-old can do. So I don't think they should be judged on their ability, but they should be judged on their understanding of jiu-jitsu. So I'm not sitting here saying that you have to be really good at jiu-jitsu to be graded. And to be honest, I would completely revamp the grading system myself anyway, and completely different, but that's another story. But I think the curriculums are a really bad idea because it pushes people down the wrong path in jiu-jitsu. I think that your ability to understand jiu-jitsu, to understand the principles in jiu-jitsu are far more fundamentally important than your ability to demonstrate a technique. So for me, I could say, it's good to show a technique, but the principles that make that technique work are really important. The body mechanics that technique uses to work is what I would want people to concentrate on, and then come up with their own practical application. Because that's what the conceptual idea of jiu-jitsu is. It's your ability to look at a movement and break down the biomechanics to it and the principles to be able to take that and then change the application a million different ways. So that's why I teach very differently to most people for starters, and I learned very differently is because I try to avoid the acquisition of techniques and move more into an understanding, a cerebral understanding of jiu-jitsu. So that's where I would look at for grading students. I think it would be a much better platform to get them to understand jiu-jitsu, and I would have different levels from white to black of, what they should understand. But, the first level would be your ability to understand, okay, what is the guard? What is passing? Why do you want to pass the guard? Why do you want to, sweep and submit? What do you want to do from mount? What do you want to do from back? A lot of students don't even learn that kind of shit, and why certain submissions work. What, a rear naked choke, what are you really doing? What is the biomechanics of a rear naked choke? So if you can understand that, then you can start thinking, well, I'm just cutting off both carotid arteries, so I don't need to use my hands like this. I can do it like this. I can do it like this. And you can start being a little more flexible in your approach. I have to remind people, jiu-jitsu is an art, and it should be an honest expression of yourself, as Bruce Lee would say. Now, the curriculum idea is taking an industrial age model that was designed to create factory workers that gets all these unique individuals and conforms and batches them into one idea that the government feels is fit. That's not art. Okay, you can't mechanically get the best out of someone. It has to be organic. So I encourage people to move away from that and create a more agricultural environment where the instructor acts more like a farmer, that creates a safe, fun environment for people to have the confidence to innovate and use trial and error to develop their own style. And you just walk around and give them tips and advice, help them out, make things easier for them, but don't tell them exactly what to do. That's helicopter parenting, and it's a really bad idea. So I think that the problem with helicopter parenting is students rely on that information and they start, becoming addicted to that. So they stop learning it for themselves and they just rely on the instructors to teach. But that's another story. I don't want to go too deep in there. But I would move away from a curriculum-based system, and I would go to more of an understanding-based system. And of course, if you're winning, like myself, I went from white to black in 4 years, but I also had to win blue belt world championships, purple belt world championships. I got silver, brown belt world championships. So I had to prove myself on that level, on that front. So I was more of a competitive black belt. And now I feel like I'm both. So that's why I say everyone should be graded very differently based on not just on their ability, but their age and everything as well. It should all come into play. But yeah, it's a very subjective thing. But my overall answer is I think curriculums should be gone, and I think that anyone's doing it that is doing it and doesn't really understand why they're doing it or what it's really doing, or they're trying to do it to motivate their students and make money off their students. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please leave your comments and tell me what else you would like to hear me talk about. I did this because someone messaged me and wrote a comment on one of my videos that they wanted to hear my thoughts on a curriculum. So that's my thoughts. But please let me know what you think. If you do enjoy this, share and show other people this and tell your family about it as per usual. But thank you for listening. Go to kitdaletraining.com. The sale is still on. Go wild in capital letters, 40% off. And I hope to see you there. Say hi to your mum for me.